Microsoft Sentinel is a cloud-native SIEM and SOAR solution that empowers you to detect, investigate, and respond to threats across your entire digital environment at cloud scale. With built-in AI, automation, and deep integration with Microsoft 365, Azure, and third-party systems, Sentinel helps you modernize your security operations center, reduce alert fatigue, and respond to threat faster and more efficiently than ever before. In this video, we will implement the Microsoft Sentinel and see how you can connect different data sources, run analytical rules, onboard, and see workbooks and onboard threat intelligence. When you start thinking about building a security operations center, the first and most important step is to define your security goals. In this example, let's say your goal is to monitor Entra ID and Azure subscription activity logs. This means your security log sources will include Entra ID sign-in and audit logs and Azure activity logs from your subscriptions. These are just two of many potential sources, but identifying what you need to monitor is crucial. This forms the basis of your data ingestion strategy into Microsoft Sentinel. Not all logs are created equal. For your SOC, you should focus on security relevant logs only. Avoid sending non-security or performance related application logs to Sentinel. However, if an application generates security logs, such as login attempts, access failures, they should be integrated. Remember, Sentinel is for security monitoring, not application performance monitoring. Once you have finalized your list of security log sources, use the search bar to find Log Analytic Workspace. Click Create to set up a workspace that Microsoft Sentinel will use to ingest and analyze security data. You just name the instance of Log Analytic Workspace as shown and place it in the appropriate region. Click Review plus Create and then Create. Log Analytic Workspace is ready to use for Sentinel. Search for Sentinel in the Azure Search Now and then click Create. You select the Log Analytic Workspace that is created earlier and click Add. Note, Sentinel offers 31-day free trial as highlighted in the message on the top. What it means? During the trial, up to 10 GB per day are free for both Microsoft Sentinel and Log Analytics. Data beyond the 10 GB per day will be built. Sentinel instance is up and running as shown. Now let's connect the log sources to the Sentinel. Remember, our goal here is to integrate with Entra ID logs and with Azure subscription activity logs. Navigate to Content Hub under Content Management. You will get the list of data connectors that you can choose from. Search for Microsoft Entra ID in the search bar. Select the data connector and click on Install on the right hand side bottom. You will see the message that install is successful. Now click on Manage. Select Microsoft Entra ID data connector and click on Open Connector page. Select all the log sources as shown. Click on Apply Changes. And you should see Success message. That's it. Your Entra ID logs are now flowing into the Sentinel for monitoring. Let's go back to the Content Hub page. Now to onboard activity logs. Search for activity log in the Content Hub search bar and click Install. After successful install of the connector, click on Manage. Select the Azure Activity Data Connector as shown and click on Open Connector page. In this case, you can see that only one green tick in the prerequisite section. This particular setting is driven by Azure policy. So let's click on Launch Azure Policy Assignment Wizard. In the policy, select the proper scope. In this case, I just selected the single subscription, but it's good to do this at the management group level. Click on Parameters tab. Select the Log Analytic Workspace that we created earlier, then click on Remediation tab. On the Remediation tab, select Create a remediation task and create a manage identity. Then click review plus create. Once you deploy policy, it will take few minutes to take effect. It's not quick, so be patient if you are not seeing the activity logs flowing into Sentinel log analytics. Now let's go to the configuration section of the Sentinel home. You see currently there are 2 active rules, but you can add many analytics rule here. Click on the rule templates next to active rules. And there you go. All the default analytics rule template that is provided by the connector when we install is seen here. You can pick up the rules that are relevant to you. The top rule says that it is in use. It means that it is being used for analyzing the log data and will trigger security incident if breach. Click on analytic rule name attempts to sign in to disable accounts and click on create rule on the right. On the general tab, you can leave all the details as it is. Click on set rule logic. On the set rule logic, leave everything as it is. You can change the query scheduling based on needs. But remember, analytics rule is what costs you when it runs on the dataset. So always choose the right frequency. Click on incident setting now. On the incident settings, I would recommend to choose the alert grouping option so that related incident can be grouped into a single incident, and this will reduce the noise. Click on automated response now. Automated response is where you add some actions for this incident. There are a bunch of actions supported, such as you can run playbook, or you can change the status or severity, or you can assign an owner, or you can add tags and task. Click review plus create and then save. And you can see that attempts to sign in to disable accounts analytic rule is active now. This is how you can choose the different types of built-in analytics rule and schedule for security monitoring. Now click on incidents under threat management. So whatever analytics rule that you schedule, it will trigger the incident when breach, and those incidents will be seen on this incident dashboard. You do not see any here at this stage because no incidents are created. Click on workbook now. Currently you see only one workbook added here. To add more workbook, we have to go back to the Content Hub and select the workbook that comes with connector. In the Content Hub, select Azure Activity and then click on Manage. Don't select anything on this page, just click Next. There you go. You see 2 workbooks. First one we saw that added. Select the Azure Service Health workbook and click on Configuration. Click Save on the right hand side and it will prompt you to choose the region. Simply choose the region and click OK. Now let's go back to the workbooks under Threat Management. And there you go. You see now workbook available for you in the workbook section for easy reference. That's how you pulled in those workbooks that comes with connectors. You can now click on View Saved Workbook and you get good visually pleasing dashboards. Now click on Hunting. This is where you can create your hunting queries. You can pull the queries from the Content Hub as we did for workbooks. Click on Entity Behavior now. On UEBA, make sure that you are turning them on. This is very useful for behavioral analysis. Let's go back to the Content Hub again. Now the most important thing. When you are building or enhancing your Microsoft Sentinel environment, onboarding a threat intelligence connector, whether from Microsoft or third-party sources, is a smart move that significantly boosts your detection and response capabilities. While your existing log sources like Entra ID, Azure Activity Logs, firewalls, and endpoint telemetry show you what's happening in your environment, threat intelligence helps you understand whether any of those activities are actually malicious. It adds the context you need to go from raw data to meaningful insight. By connecting threat intelligence feeds, you are bringing in curated list of known malicious indicators, such as bad IP addresses, domains, URLs, file shares, or even profiles of threat actors. Once this threat intel is in place, Sentinel can automatically correlate it with your incoming log data. For example, If a user attempts to connect to an IP address and that IP happens to be on a threat intelligence list as part of a botnet or malware host, Sentinel will instantly flag it. This way, you are not just monitoring logs, you are detecting real threats based on global threat knowledge. The real value is in how this threat intelligence enriches your analytics rule and incident detection. It enables more accurate detection, reduces false positives, and accelerates your investigations by giving immediate context to otherwise ambiguous event. Instead of chasing every anomaly, you are now able to focus on what's truly risky because the data is being filtered through a lens of known threats. So when you onboard a threat intelligence connector, you are empowering Sentinel to think smarter, act faster, and defend better. And the last part, you should assign appropriate role assignment to the SOC team members. When you are managing access to Microsoft Sentinel, it's important to follow the principle of least privilege. You can do this by assigning Azure RBAC roles that control what users can see and do within Sentinel and its underlying log analytic workspace. For example, if someone only needs to view dashboards, incidents, or workbooks, you can assign them the reader role. This allows them to monitor what's going on without being able to make any changes, which is perfect for stakeholders like managers or auditors. If your role is more operational, like responding to alerts and managing incidents, you will want the responder role. This gives the ability to investigate alerts, change incident status, assign incidents, and run playbooks. But you won't be able to modify Sentinel's configuration. It is ideal if you are working in the SOC as an analyst. On the other hand, if you are responsible for creating analytics rules, setting up data connectors, or configuring hunting queries and dashboards, then the contributor role is right. With this role, you can do almost everything except manage who has access to Sentinel itself. It's a perfect for security engineers or team leads who are building and maintaining the SOC detection capability. Lastly, if you are tasked with running automation or building response playbooks, you should be using the automation operator role. This allows you to trigger and manage logic apps without giving you access to the broader Sentinel environment. It's especially useful for service accounts or engineers managing automated incident response. By assigning these roles thoughtfully, you can protect your Sentinel environment from unnecessary risk, keep operations clean, and ensure that everyone has exactly the access they need. No more, no less. Now, with this, we can conclude this walkthrough. And I am sure that you know now how to build your SOC for security monitoring.